The quarantine dome hummed with sterile light as Dr. Elizabeth Chen reviewed the data for the 100th time. The numbers didn't lie, but they made no sense. Across the observation window, David Morrison sat in the containment chamber, casually reading a book and occasionally sniffling into a tissue. "He should be dead," whispered Ambassador Zekthor, his translator crackling with distress. The Valorian diplomat's crystalline exoskeleton flickered through colors that Elizabeth's crash course in xenobiology told her meant profound fear. "The Crimson Silence killed 4.3 billion of my people in 6 planetary rotations." Elizabeth pulled up the holographic display, watching the microscopic horror that had brought 3 galactic civilizations to their knees. The pathogen, designated XP447 by human scientists, was elegant in its lethality. It attacked neural tissue with surgical precision, crossing every known biological barrier, adapting to each species' unique biochemistry within hours. The Valorians had been first. Their empire of crystal cities had gone dark in days, billions dying in seizures as their nervous systems crystallized from within. The Keth Collective followed, all 800 billion drones falling silent simultaneously as their hive minds shattered. Then the Saurian, whose 3-hearted biology offered no protection as the plague evolved to attack each heart in sequence. 47 species, trillions dead. The plague spread through contact, through air, through water. It survived vacuum and radiation. Quarantine protocols failed. Medical science proved useless. Every species that encountered it faced extinction. Every species except one. "Tell me again what happened when David was exposed," Elizabeth said, though she'd memorized every detail of the incident report. Ambassador Zekthor's colors shifted to a sickly gray. "The research station on Kepler 442b. We thought it was secure. We were studying preserved samples when containment failed. Everyone in the facility—" He paused, struggling with the translator's limitations. "Everyone died within hours. Everyone except your transport pilot." David had been delivering supplies when the outbreak occurred. He'd spent 6 hours in the hot zone, trying to save researchers as they convulsed and died around him. He'd carried bodies, performed CPR, breathed the same air thick with the pathogen that had ended worlds. 2 days later, he'd reported a scratchy throat and runny nose. Elizabeth had been part of the emergency response team, certain they'd be documenting humanity's first extinction-level event. Instead, she'd watched David sneeze into his elbow, ask for chicken soup, and complain that he couldn't taste the meal very well. The tests began immediately. They'd found XP447 in his system, millions of the deadly microorganisms swimming through his bloodstream, attacking his neural tissue just as they had in every other species. But David's immune system had simply dealt with it. "I don't understand," Zekthor said, watching David turn another page. "The plague is perfect. It adapts. It overcomes. How does his biology resist what destroyed the Valorian medical technology that took us 10,000 years to develop?" Elizabeth pulled up a side-by-side comparison. "It doesn't resist. Look here. The pathogen is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's attacking his neurons, trying to replicate, attempting to cascade through his nervous system." "Then why isn't he dying?" "Because humans have been playing this game for a very long time." Elizabeth expanded the cellular view, showing the microscopic battlefield inside David's body. "Our planet was a crucible, Ambassador. For billions of years, Earth's life forms waged war against each other. Bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi, every living thing trying to consume every other living thing. Our immune systems didn't just evolve to fight infections. They evolved to fight everything, all at once, constantly." She highlighted David's white blood cells, an army of specialized killers. "See these? T cells that remember every pathogen humanity has ever encountered." B cells producing antibodies at ridiculous rates, macrophages that literally eat invaders, natural killer cells that destroy compromised tissue before the infection spreads. And this, she zoomed in on a cluster of cells, innate immunity that responds to threats we've never even seen before. But the Crimson Silence adapts, so do we. Faster. We've been adapting to pathogens that adapt for our entire evolutionary history. The Black Death, smallpox, influenza, HIV. We've faced extinction-level plagues dozens of times and survived through biology alone. XP447 is nasty, Ambassador, but David's immune system has seen worse. Zekthor's colors shifted through patterns Elizabeth couldn't interpret. Horror? Awe? Perhaps both. Your people evolved in paradise, Elizabeth continued, her voice softer now. Your histories speak of harmony, of civilizations rising peacefully, of technology advancing without struggle. The Keth achieved hive-mind consciousness through meditation. The Saurian built their empire through trade and philosophy. She looked at David through the window. Ordinary, unremarkable David, who flew cargo ships and liked bad puns and had somehow survived what killed trillions. Humanity clawed its way up from the mud, Ambassador. We came from a world that was actively trying to kill us every single day. Predators, poisons, plagues, parasites. We shouldn't have survived our own planet, but we're stubborn. We adapt. We endure. We joke that whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And on Earth, that was literally true. So this plague, Zekthor gestured at the hologram, at the microscopic terror that had toppled empires. Gives us a cold, a mild one. David will be sniffling for a few days, then he'll be fine. His immune system will remember XP447 and he'll be immune for life. In fact, Elizabeth pulled up new data. We've already synthesized a vaccine from his antibodies. We can inoculate every species in the galaxy. The ambassador's crystalline body went completely still. You're saying humans will save us. We're saying your plague met its match. Elizabeth smiled. Welcome to Earth immunity. We're happy to share. Through the window, David sneezed again, grabbed another tissue, and went back to his book. Outside the quarantine dome, the galaxy's survivors waited for the cure that would come from the most unlikely source. A species whose own planet had prepared them for horrors the peaceful cosmos had never imagined. The plague that ended civilizations had, at last, met the one species that evolution had specifically designed to say, "Is that all you've got?"